What's wrong with them? Tanaka narrowed her eyes at the robot, alert, knowing that the people she arrived with could potentially be in danger. Darlena raised both hands. There's no need to be alarmed. By the time they awaken, they'll be in a position to handle the trauma. She smiled as though understanding Tanaka's concern. Raising an eyebrow, Tanaka asked, "What do you mean? Did you do something to us?" A sense of panic began forming, wondering if Star and Moon had messed with their minds. Not to such a degree that you're likely imagining. Darlena appeared amused at Tanaka's expression. You must remember that people likely deciding to become adventurers are inexperienced when they enter our underground cities. Taking this into account, we take extra care during the simulation. The way it spoke was as though it was an obvious thing to consider. Tanaka took a moment to process what she was hearing, making her think that what she experienced was different compared to Kawa and Mizuki. So, what did the others encounter during the simulation? The monsters are carefully selected based on our scans of the individuals, Dahlia said. Our scans allow us to make an educated assessment of what an individual is able to handle, while still giving them an accurate sense of the dangers when becoming an adventurer. Learning that monsters were tailored to the person taking part in the simulation, Tanaka's eyes widened. I was going to get killed regardless of what happened? Upon stumbling on the reality of what she took part in, there was a dread that overcame her. She looked around at the peaceful surroundings, realizing it was much more sinister than it appeared on the surface. Let's say that it's more stacked against you, Darlena said. Has anyone been able to beat the monster they're assigned to? Tanaka asked. Shaking its head, I can't provide an answer to that question. We try to provide some level of privacy for our adventurers. The only reason why I talked about your comrades was due to your connection to them, and the likelihood you'd have found out on your own from them. Darlena explained, denying the request for information. As if to calm Tanaka's fears, we don't do this in some kind of sadistic joy, watching adventurers be killed over and over throughout the various underground cities that we created. Darlena answered in a saddened voice as his shoulders lowered. After the initial wave of thoughts washed over her and she was able to calm down, Tanaka took a deep breath. Seeing that the robot was truly affected by what likely happened repeatedly all around the world, the surroundings felt less ominous. Her feelings were now similar to when she had first enlisted into the self-defense force. There was a sense that what was happening to her was personal, that the trainers were enjoying her suffering. But then, she thought back to when she herself had to assist in the training of new recruits. Though she grinned and appeared to enjoy making the volunteers miserable, what was actually happening was trying to get them prepared for what could happen in the future. I'm guessing that when a person dies in this place, you're probably hoping that they'd quit. Tanaka had a suspicion that getting eaten wasn't just to get them ready for the future, but it also was a way to filter out those not mentally able to become adventurers. I suspected that you'd be able to pick up on that. Darlena smiled. I won't deny that we do hope that people will give up. But What happens if dying doesn't get them to stop? Tanaka felt herself wanting to defy the robot's expectations. Pointing away from them, Darlena said, "If the first time doesn't get people to give up?" Tanaka's eyes followed where Darlena was indicating, only to see in horror the same monster that killed her materialize into existence